men to, or maybe women too, it was a place to go to have extramarital affairs. That was their jam.
They had a commercial on Howard Stern as, I'm looking for someone other than my wife, other than my wife, other than my wife. I'm not kidding. It was in the ads.
So, oh my God, so fucking wrong. It's so wrong.
Other than my wife.
That shit's going to be stuck in my head. I know,
sorry. I'll think of something else. I'll think something else later.
Now I'll be singing the Little River Band all day today. Anyway, the fact that Ashley Madison even existed is so fucking gross. Apparently cheating on your wife is enough to get you to resign your position at the Family Research Council. So that's awesome. And then, the fact that he was a child molester, I think was really the cherry on top. But don't worry, Mike Huckabee still defended him and said that the press was just sensationalizing the story.
What a prick.
I fucking hate Mike Huckabee, and I hate his stupid daughter, too.
They're hypocritical shithead.
He's the worst.
He went to Harvard and he acts like, oh, shucks, ma'am. He's not smart and he's not really.
Education's for rich people.
Like he's not ambitious and he's not, you know what I mean? Ugh.
He sucks.
Yeah.
After all of this came out, the Duggars went on a public relations campaign. So they gave an exclusive 2-part interview to Fox News creep Megyn Kelly. The first was Michelle, just Jim Bob and Michelle. The second was featuring 2 of the sisters, Jessa and Jill. Mm-hmm. And they revealed that they were among Josh's victims, but that they forgave him.
Yeah.
That's family business.
Family shit, right.
But during their interview, Jim Bob revealed that Josh had confessed 3 times to them that he had inappropriately touched the girls in their home, and that the 3rd time when he came and talked to us, we felt like we've done everything we can as parents to handle this in-house. Now we need to get help. They didn't do shit about it until like the 3rd time.
Oh my God, those poor daughters.
I know. I'm like,
in your house that happens.
That's awful.
Yeah.
It's so fucked up. Jim Bob also in this interview claimed the victims, quote, really didn't know. They didn't understand this. They didn't understand what he had done until we told them. Like he was making it sound like they were like, what? I didn't know anything was wrong or whatever.
What kind of sex ed do you think they're getting?
Yeah. They also went on to blame people who didn't want them to spread their faith for the fact that the truth came out. Like, it's not our fault.
Right. Please.
It's the devil's fault for releasing the truth. Like, it's just some bullshit.
Yeah.
TLC announced they canceled their show, but because TLC can be so fucking gross, they just gave the Duggars another show, and that's when those counting on shows started with the daughters. And it was just the same old thing. It was just like, we're having babies, talking about God and shit, like whatever.
If it was called God and shit, I would actually pay attention to it.
Watch Counting On this fall, where we're having babies and talking about God and shit.
I could get into that.
So cut to April 2021. Josh, now 33, well, 33 at the time, I mean, was arrested by U.S. Marshals in Arkansas and was charged with receiving and possessing, this is the correct term we were trying to figure out earlier, child sex abuse images.
Ugh. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We were trying to figure out the right word for this. That's what it is. Sorry. I should have remembered that before. Child sex abuse images. So during the trial, a Homeland Security agent testified that Josh had more than 200 images of children, some as young as 18 months,
for God.
on his computer.
God. Oh, no.
It's real bad.
Oh, no. I'm going to hide in my closet. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And he said, and this is a quote, everyone take care of yourself. He said, it's one of the top 5 of the worst he's ever seen. That's how bad it was.
Oh my God.
This is an experienced Homeland Security agent.
Yeah,
and he's like,
everything.
He's like, this is some of the worst shit I've ever seen, basically. I'm like, that is fucked up. So a jury found him guilty of all charges. He faces up to 20 years in prison and fines of $250,000 for each count. He is scheduled to be sentenced in May 25th. I actually did, when I did all this research, I was like, shit, should I be saving this one for June or something? But I decided I was like, nah, we're just going to do it. And then we could do an update. So he's going to be sentenced later this month.
Wow. Good.
But this doesn't stop the Duggars from,
Duggering.
living their lives, right? So November 2021, this is 7 months after Josh has been arrested. And just a few days before his trial starts, Jim Bob decides to run for Arkansas Senate.
Why not?
Why not? What could possibly go wrong with your son is facing charges for child sexual abuse?
When you knew about it for 20 plus years.
Yeah. You should run for office. What a great idea. This is Trump's America. Why not? He was running because he wanted to fight for the, quote, foundational principles that have made our nation great. Like, fuck off.
Bitch, please.
Even Arkansas told him to suck it. So he finished third out of 4 candidates for the Republican primary.
I'm hoping this for Dr. Oz. Like with all of his fame and all of his bullshit running in Pennsylvania. Yeah.
I'm like, come on, Pennsylvania. Tell Dr. Oz. Tell Dr. Oz to fuck off.
Yeah.
Fuck Dr. Oz. Okay, so that's what's up with Josh. Here's some other rando creepiness I just uncovered. So Jim Bob and Michelle, when raising their children, use something called blanket time, which a lot of people, do you know what blanket time is?
No, and I'm kind of scared.
Okay, it's where you put a child, an infant or a toddler, on a blanket and you give them some toys and they need to stay on that blanket. And if the child leaves the blanket, you're instructed to hit them.
What?
Yeah.
The baby?
Yes.
Who hits babies?
Monsters.
Fuck you.
Yeah, seriously, fuck that.
Don't have them if you can't not hit them.
Right.
Because they don't crawl or anything. Fucking assholes.
They're assholes. When Jessa Duggar visited the Holocaust Museum in 2014, she shared a post about how it affected her and then compared it to abortion. And then blamed the Holocaust on the theory of evolution.
No.
I'm like, come on. You dum-dums. What are you doing? And this is a great one. So here, August 2014, Michelle Duggar recorded a political robocall that was about those like transgender, like all gender bathroom bills. And it was all about, it immediately makes the leap from transgender people to their child predators. They're predators.
They're still doing that.
Yeah.
Because people believe it.
Yeah. So she records this robocall, and it's all about like, we can't let men who claim that they're women, but they're child predators use the same blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, big fucking talk coming from you, Michelle.
Right.
When you had like, fuck you.
You let that predator in your home and let him prey again.
Yes. Yes, but please.
Yeah, lecture me.
But please, here I am with my hands under my chin. Do go on about child sexual predators, Michelle.
It's that like, Bugs Bunny pose.
Yeah, just do go on. She's such an asshole. They did a whole thing in November 2014 on their Facebook page where they asked married couples to take pictures of them kissing and post it on their Facebook page. I guess like anytime a same-sex couple appeared on the page, the pictures were immediately deleted from the Facebook page. Then those people were blocked from the Facebook group. Oh, and they were all in on Trumper, right? They were on Trump, on disgraced former President Trump. There's videos of them like using like a weed trimmer to like spell out Trump in their grass on their front lawn, and they've got all the fucking flags out because that's what normal people do. Have their merch out for their president all the time. Like, by the way, you go on TikTok and like some of these like hardcore Trumpers are like, where's your merch for your boy? And I'm like, I'm not in a fucking cult. I don't walk around with like Biden shirts all the time. And so I'm like, what is wrong with you weirdos?
It's so childish.
Is so where's your Build Back Better America shirts, y'all? Like,
I have too many cat lady shirts that I get from the Cat Lady of the Month Club.
You're in a cult, you weirdos. It's so stupid. I just love the the mindset of like thinking that that's such a burn, right? That they made a video on TikTok and they're like, "Where's your merch?" I'm like, he's not Lizzo.
Exactly.
Like he works for me. I'm like, ugh. Anyway, they're gross. And of course, they were all in on Trump. And I'm like, because who's more modest and pure than disgraced former president Donald Trump?
Who's cheated on all of his wives.
Exactly. He's probably paid for like 1 million abortions. So that's our creep. Those are all of our creeps. The Duggar family.
Oh, good
19 children, 22 grandchildren, and several creeps. And counting.
So, Sonia, which is the one? Is it Jill or Jessa that's married to the guy that was... Oh, there's a transgender person that had a show.
Oh, yes, I know. I'm going to look it up right now. So I know exactly which one you're talking about because I saw that too. And I cut it for space. His name is Dick Derrick, and he's related to Jill. He's married to Jill.
Okay. And
yeah.
And there's a transgender person that had a show on TLC, and it was just about their lives and just like the surgery and then moving forward and how tough it is and making friends and all that stuff. And he just posted hateful shit over and over again, like on social media. And it's just like, just mind your own fucking business and let people live.
It's not your business. Like, how does that impact you? It doesn't.
It doesn't. But he's so mad that they're on the same network. And he's so brave. He's going to say something anyway. I'm like, people are never going to get jobs. Give me a break.
Yeah. Fuck these people.
Yeah.
Seriously. I know that there are some Duggars out there who are maybe like cousins or like vaguely related. And they are not all in on this.
No.
Yeah, they post videos on Instagram and TikTok where they're just like shitting on their family, and I'm here for it. So
yeah, no, I'm friends with someone who's from Arkansas, and she's just like, no, they're weirdos. They're not. This is not. They are not representative of most Christian people in Arkansas.
They aren't.
They're
Absolutely, they are not.
It's a very weird movement, the Quiverfull movement, and it's another place to keep people trapped and obedient, and that's cultish and weird.
Yeah, and there's definitely there are certain sects of religions where it is all about like trying to have as many kids as you can because it's about like outnumbering others,
it's
right?
The Mormon thing and the Catholic thing. The more kids you have, the more people you raise in the church, they go out and have 1 million. I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, that woman's uterus is just something. I mean,
it's fucking taking a beating.
Wow. But she still looks like pretty lively and pretty. I mean, maybe she was meant to have. I don't know.
I don't know how you do that like I said, as someone who had one and you could barely sneeze without peeing your pants. I'm like, how do you have? Well, I mean, she had 20 kids, and I'm like, is she just walking around peeing herself all the time? Like, I'm like, how do you function? I don't know.
Do they have nannies or anything? I mean, wow.
No. So there's also a whole other thing that like, there's this thing about like when you have a lot of kids like that, you get the other kids to help you. With the younger kids, right? So it's like you create this like kind of like a buddy system, and like the oldest is like responsible for like some of the younger kids. Yeah, so then you're denying some of your children their childhood by giving them like adult parental responsibilities, which is
stressful.
Really stressful, pretty fucked up. You know, my mother has 7 other brothers and sisters growing up, and she was one of those. She was the oldest. It was her job to like help take care, and that's stressful. You know, it's really hard.
The baby blanket thing, that is just really
It's real fucked up.
Okay, we need to clean the energy.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do this. Sonia.
Yes.
Do you know who Sister Rosetta